Hey everyone, and God's grace and peace to all of you. I'm coming to you a little bit later than usual for our word of encouragement today. Like many of you, my family is trying to figure out how we make everything work and balance life and our jobs. And my wife Lelia had some important work that she had to do this morning, which meant this morning I got to be with our daughter Hattie, which means I am starting the afternoon shift and working into the evening just a little bit. But I do pray that you are all doing very well, that you are safe and that you are healthy on this Monday as we begin a new week. I guess it's Monday. Everything seems to be thrown off. Out of all of the things that we feel a sense of loss in, like many of you, I feel a sense of loss of routine. Particularly when you're used to worshiping and preaching. Sunday starts everything and it all leads again to the following Sunday. When I was in high school and then leading on into my freshman year of college, I played in the band, and rhythm, obviously, as you are marching on the field, is a crucial thing. If you're not in rhythm, if you're not in sync, you can be chaotic in the midst of all that is going on around you. You're bumping into people, you're losing your way, your timing is off, not sure how everything is going. And finding that rhythm, especially with everything that is going on around you, is crucial. That can be even more important right now as we are all disjointed, as we are going through these strange and trying times. Finding a rhythm each day when each day is different or as each day sort of blends into the next. It can be an important thing for us to do. So I'd encourage you to find a way to find your rhythm throughout this entire time. It can start with a daily routine. Get your morning started right with devotion and prayer. Exercise, thinking about the things that you are grateful for from the day before and ways you're going to try to please God even as you're in your home and trying to be faithful, as you do your work remotely, as you care for your family, as you're present with your family, as you think about all of your neighbors that are around you and you try to minister to them as you are able. Find an intention for the day and set it. One of the things that could help with that, I can plug right now our church app. If you have not downloaded that, I would encourage you to do so. Just go to the Apple Store or the Google Play Store and search for the ARBC app. One of the great things about that app is you can stay in touch with us, particularly on a daily basis, as we send out scripture readings for each day that go along with the daily lectionary. This morning in particular, Psalm 143 was on the list of scriptures to be read today. And one of the things that really spoke to me started in verse 8 when it says, "Let me hear of your steadfast love in the morning, O God, for in you I put my trust. Teach me the way I should go, for to you I lift up my soul. Save me, O Lord, from my enemies. I have fled to you for refuge. Teach me to do your will, for you are my God. Let your good spirit lead me on a level path." Yesterday, since I was a little bit thrown off in my Sunday routine, I had already recorded and uploaded the sermon that was going to be preached. And so before our family got into a little bit of a worship experience that we did, as so many of you did as you followed along in our digital worship experience, I was out in the yard working a little bit. I needed to cut the grass and I needed to pull some weeds. And like many of you, I have recognized that the pollen count is extremely high right now. And yet, as trying as even that can be, particularly if you have out, as I was working in the yard and pulling weeds and cutting the grass and doing a little digging and playing around in the dirt, I took a moment to just pause and look around. In particular, I always know what the rhythm and season of the year it is based on the plants that are in our yard, in our garden, like so many of you would look to find as well. In particular, in our backyard, we have 5 huge snowball viburnums. These balloons and blossoms that come out are about the size of a softball. They're white, they're bright, they are huge, and they look almost like hydrangeas, but they are just gorgeous. And this is the time of year, not only when they've started to bloom, but they are turning a bright white color as well. Happens always in the spring as we get close to Easter. We have a few azalea bushes back there that are also starting to bloom, and a couple of dogwoods. I had a sense of perspective for at least just a moment. It's so often easy for us in trying times to look inward and look at the challenges that we are having and the struggles that we are going through. But at the same time, it's important for us to remember that we are only one small portion of God's great world. And there is so much going on around us that, as difficult as things are for each of us individually and those of us collectively as humans in this world, there are also signs all around us that there are more rhythms taking place than we could ever possibly know. There's more going on here than we would often stop to recognize. And so I would encourage you today, as you go about your week, whether one day simply bleeds into the next, or if you have something new that has to happen every single day, I would encourage you to find ways to get in sync with the rhythm of God, to find ways to let God's will lead you, to let God's work be your work. And that if you are focused on those types of things, if, as the psalmist said, you're listening for the steadfast love of God each morning, you're putting your trust in God, you're allowing God to teach you the way that you should go, especially in this strange and chaotic times, then perhaps we will all be able to get through in the way that we need to. This is the start of the third week of this crisis for those of us who are in Greenville. We know that it is probably going to get more difficult from here, and there are people across our country and around our world who are struggling right now. And so we lift each other up in prayer in the shared struggles that we have. We also find comfort in the way that God is continuing to lead us. I pray that you are all blessed on this Monday. May you have a wonderful week. May you be in sync and in rhythm with God.